Greetings, my name is Tim Johnson. This is Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. This is the sort of final video this week. It's of a trilogy of videos, really. And I don't usually make these videos in 1 week, but I feel very strongly at the moment about alcohol dependency. And as I said in the previous videos, a lot of people are struggling at the moment and going back. And I hope that this is a message of hope for you and perhaps a way for you to get some sort of motivation to drag yourself out of the hell that you're in at the moment. And I know it is hell because I've been there myself. I asked, for those of you who watched that video I recommended yesterday on YouTube called Rain in My Heart, which is a documentary on alcoholism following 4 people. I hope you were as moved by it as I was, and as shocked by it as I was. There's 4 people it followed, and 2 of them actually died during the making of this video. And the young lad who was, I don't know if you've watched it, but the young lad who was drinking half pints of wine, swigging them down and vomiting into a bucket straight after was literally how I was 12 months ago. If it wasn't wine and drinking it like in pints, it was vodka, and on a treadmill that saw me going round and round, just staving off the effects of withdrawal. Basically, I wasn't getting from anything from the alcohol anymore, and it's quite a quick progress to get on from to that stage, from problem drinking to that stage. And the desire you have to quit has to be very strong, and those of you who keep going back to it have to have a close look and check on that desire and ask yourselves if you really want to stop, and you really have the desire to stop. Because as I say, in 12 short months, that's how I was, vomiting into a bucket and blood coming out of both ends. And I hate to be crude here, but that's the truth. And I'd stopped 3 months earlier than that. I'd stopped my opiate use after sort of 20 odd years of opiate use, and that had been bloody hard. But I thought I could drink in moderation, and that's an absolute myth. Those of you who have issues with alcohol dependency or addiction, or any addiction issues at all, who think you can drink alcohol in moderation in recovery, even if you're not having any other mind-altering substances, are kidding yourselves, I'm afraid, because it is impossible. Because alcohol is a crafty, nefarious drug, and a strong drug, and it will grip you. And that moderation, where may with all best intentions, might just start well, for a week or 2, but I guarantee you that will escalate and escalate until your tolerance levels build up and build up and build up, and you're on that treadmill again, and that hamster wheel, I call it. There's a Pink Floyd song. Those of you who are old like me, I followed Genesis and Pink Floyd in the 70s, and there's a lyric from Wish You Were Here that sums it up really well. It's a song, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, and it's about their colleague Syd Barrett spiral into dependency and LSD and addiction and all the rest of it. And it says, we're 2 lost souls swimming in a goldfish bowl year after year. And it's very true, that swimming round and round with nowhere to go, hopeless, not feeling anything, not thinking anything, just in pain and hell. And that's where a lot of you are at the moment, and that's where I was 12 months ago. But I'm telling you now that you can get out if your desire is strong enough and your want is strong enough. Can you think of anything positive that alcohol has brought into your life? Because I certainly can't. You may think, with the brainwashing that you've had, because we're all taught from an early age that to associate alcohol, and I've said this before in the last 2 videos, to associate alcohol with certain things. So it gives me confidence. Well, it turns you into a gibbering idiot. It cheers me up. Well, it actually depresses you because it's a massive depressant. It helps me when I'm sad. It actually makes you sadder. It helps me forget, but what you're trying to forget actually comes back worse 100 times the next day, and so on and so on and so on, and you're on that treadmill. And then they tell you, the alcohol industry and the government, that it's good for you in moderation. You may use that excuse. Have you ever heard such rubbish? Alcohol is a poison that poisons every single system in your body. It's the only drug that gets through the blood-brain barrier into your brain and destroys it slowly. It's a slow, and if you watch that video yesterday, it is a slow, painful, undignified, horrible death. And that's the only place that alcohol will, if you have issues with alcohol, that's where it will lead you eventually. That's where you'll get to. You may not ever end up vomiting into a bucket of blood, but it will kill you one way or another, or it will kill all your relationships, and your friends and your loved ones will disappear from you. You lose your money, your jobs, your dignity, your self-respect. Everything will eventually. Alcohol only takes, as drugs do. It only takes from you. It doesn't give you anything positive. You may think, with the brainwashing, that oh, I deserve it as a reward at the end of the day. What's wrong with putting your feet up and having a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice and relaxing and doing a bit of meditation or watching a film you like? Or, I mean, that's a reward enough. Or being with your loved ones, that's a reward enough. Just breathing and being healthy is a reward enough. You find that as you get on. Now, I'm not, this is me speaking now, honestly, as someone who was in the same state as that young lad in that film a year ago. And I can understand all you people out there that are struggling, thinking, "Oh, shut up! You don't know what you're talking about." But I'm telling you, over a year ago, I saw no way out of this pit of despair. I had massive issues in my past that I'd never faced, never come to terms with, and I was using those as an excuse to drink. Well, it wasn't the reason I was drinking. Really, the reason I was drinking, I was dependent on alcohol, and I was just surviving and trying to stay well. But I'd never addressed those issues, and you must find the courage to face up to those issues if you can. Um, it's just insane. It's insane what you do to yourself when you're like that. And as Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing time after time after time and expecting different results. And there aren't any, I'm afraid. It's only going to be the same treadmill. It's going to be pain, death, and destruction. And I'm not exaggerating here when I'm saying that. You watch the film and you'll see what it does to people. And I know what it was doing to me. And yeah, you may not see any way out, climbing out of this hole, but it can be done. You have to have the desire. Your desire to change, simply put here, your desire to change must be greater than your desire to stay the same. So you've got to find something within yourself. You've got to change for yourself, first of all. You've got to think, do I want to live? Because if you don't want to live, then just switch the video off now, because it's you will die, and you will lose everything if you carry on this road. So your desire to live has to be stronger. Your desire to change has to be stronger than your desire to stay the same. And then you have to, you're causing that. You have to understand that you're causing this. You're the solution to this problem. You create your own reality. You're the solution. You're the only person that can change this and change your destiny. You have to make yourself accountable. You have to make yourself accountable. Stop blaming other things. Stop blaming external causes. At the end of the day, yes, and I know people have horrible issues, but you can't hide from these things with alcohol or drugs. You can't, because they're always going to come back worse the next day. So you have to find a way to face them, to face up to them, to address them, to come to terms with them, in effect. And you have to be extremely strong to do this, and it's not easy. And I know, because some of the things I had to face up to in my reality were horrible, but I had to face up to them to move on, and I did, and I moved on. And do you know what? I'm so delighted I did move on, because life is good. But like I say, people, you won't feel like this at the moment. You'll be in the pit of despair, and you'll think, I can't change, and I need it. I'll be boring. All this stuff. Your mind is very Your mind wants to be comfortable all the time. Your brain, I've said this before, the 5-second rule, your brain doesn't want you to feel discomfort or pain of any sort. So it look for the quickest way to get an easy fix. And an easy fix is alcohol or drugs, an easy fix. So you've got to be aware of that and change it all the time. Change. You have to have motivation, discipline, determination, willpower, courage, focus, desire, and you have to apply all those things again and again and again. It's not easy. It's like climbing Everest. But when you get to the top, the view is fucking amazing. And the feeling is fucking amazing. The feeling of well-being, of health, of achievement. And as I say, things have started to come back into your life again, and the people you love start to come back into your life again, and you start to attract positive people again. And you can't see this at the moment where you are. You can't. And I know that. And I'm not naive enough or stupid enough to think that you can. But I can telling you, use this as a starting point. Use this video as a starting point, because it can be done. I was vomiting blood into a bucket 12 months ago. I keep saying this, and it's horrible, I know. But I was, and if I can do it at 57 years old, for Christ's sake, especially if you've got young kids and things to live for and a future to live for, then for fuck's sake, you can do it. You can do it. You can find the strength within yourself to do it. You have to make peace with your pain, and you have to make peace with the pain and the memories in your life. Otherwise, things will just stay the same. Recovery is not the right description for it, really. You never recover the person you were before. You can't go back. You have to literally reinvent yourself. You become something totally different, and that is a great thing. And it's not easy. It's a slow process. You chip away at it day after day after day after day, till eventually, not only does it become habit, the light starts to come to the end of the tunnel. The diet and the exercise start, and the well-being. And again, you can't see this at the moment, but if you don't make the change, it'll never happen. So you create your own destiny. Don't forget, you create your own destiny. No one else does. You create your own reality. You create your own destiny. Stop blaming other things. There's only you. Now, I know taking drugs if you've got chronic pain is a different issue, and I'll address that separately. But at the end of the day, if you're drinking for other reasons, then address them and stop, because there's nothing positive going to come out. You've been brainwashed. There's a great saying, the devil whispered in my ear, "You're not strong enough to stand the storm." And I whispered back into the devil's ear, "I am the storm." So you need to become the storm. You need to find the energy, the strength, the power, the determination, the will, and the reason to stop. The reason. And it could be your children, your future, your health. It's got to be for you, really, at the end of the day. But you could find a reason as your children. You want to set them a good example. You want to live for them. You want to see your grandchildren. You want to be normal in their eyes. You want them to respect you and have pride in you. And you want to have pride and respect in yourself. So go for it. I'm going to give you a couple of sayings here. So Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And you'll be amazed what lies within you. Because I've been a coward all my life, and I've not faced anything until the last 12, 13 months. And I'm telling you now, if I can do it, you can do it. You can just stop making excuses, stop going back, because if you're going back, you don't want it badly enough. Though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. And that's so true. You can make a brand new ending for yourself. You can rewrite your life, recreate yourself, reinvent yourself. We can all do it. Success is around the corner. You just need that power, strength, determination, willpower, reason. You have to understand what alcohol is doing to you and drugs are doing to you, and you have to not want that shit anymore. Finally, it always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela said that. And it does seem impossible at the beginning, I understand that. But you have to realise it is possible, and you have to find it within yourselves, that strength and power within yourselves to do it. So, I'm here for anyone who needs me. Just hold on if you're struggling, and it will get better. It will get better. Find the strength to do this. Don't forget, you create your own destiny, only you. So till next time, carpe diem. Today, seize the day. I love you all. Seize the day. Today's the day.